Oh, that's died. Morning, guys. This is part 2 of the power of now. The inner body. Really enjoyed doing that the other day. Really beneficial. About being inside in the inner body. Yeah, I'll do a quick recap of the bits I underlined from last time. But see if you can get inside your body from reading this. I'll go back and, if not, go back and watch the first one, which has exercises. Talks more deeply about getting into the body. So, have deep roots within. The key is to be in a state of permanent connectedness with your inner body, to feel it at all times. This will rapidly deepen and transform your life. The more consciousness you direct into the inner body, the higher its vibrational frequency becomes. Much like light that grows brighter as you turn up the dimmer switch, and so increase the flow of electricity. At this higher energy level, negativity cannot affect you anymore, and you tend to attract new circumstances that reflect this higher frequency. Love that. If you keep your attention in the body as much as possible, you will be anchored in the now. You won't lose yourself. And it is almost as if you were listening or reading with your whole body. Don't let all of, if you're listening to somebody like me reading this right now, keep some of your attention within. Don't let it all flow out. Feel your whole body from within as a single field of energy. It is almost as if you were listening or reading with the whole body. Let this be your practice in the days and weeks to come. Stay rooted within. Observe how this changes your state of consciousness and the quality of what you are doing. It's my smiley face. Whenever you are waiting, wherever it may be, this is a really good one, use that time to feel the inner body. In this way, traffic jams and lineups become very enjoyable. That's a novel concept, isn't it? Excuse me, I have to get rid of an Avast thing. My antivirus just popped up. Get off. I'm filming, can't you see? It's easy to stay present as the observer of your mind when you're deeply rooted within the body. No matter what happens on the outside, nothing can shake you anymore. Yeah, I just went in my body then, because I'm a bit out of it, like talking on camera. It took me a while to settle down, kind of thing. And now I've gone, immediately my knees were calling to me. As soon as I went within, my knees were saying, oh, give me some attention, it's loving it. Do it for your whole body though. My back, around the back of my waist as well feels it. My guts start kind of doing stuff as well. Guts. It's a nicer with my stomach. It's always between the stomach and duodenum for me, so I call it guts. My mum didn't like me calling it guts. Intestines. I don't know if there's another word, short form that's more acceptable to people. But unless you stay present and inhabiting the body is always an essential aspect of it, you will continue to be run by your mind. And skipping forward, like when challenges come, as they always do, make it a habit to go within at once and focus as much as you can on the inner energy field of your body. This need not take long, just a few seconds. Any delay will allow a conditioned mental emotional reaction to arise and take you over. So when you focus within and feel the inner body, you immediately become still and present, as you are withdrawing consciousness from the mind. If a response is required in that situation, it will come up from a deeper level. And there's infinitely more intelligence in being than in your mind. Okay, after that short recap, if you're sitting comfortably, I shall begin on the next part. Before you enter the body, forgive. That's where I wrote years ago. Accept. About emotions and stuff, and just observing. So the questioner says, I feel very uncomfortable when I try to put my attention on the inner body. Oh yeah, if you're not inside yourself and you want to go back and do the exercises, that's on the previous video. This guy says he's very uncomfortable, or girl, when he puts attention on the inner body. There was a feeling of agitation and some nausea, so I haven't been able to experience what you are talking about. And Eckhart says, What you felt was a lingering emotion that you were probably unaware of until you started putting some attention into the body. Unless you first give it some attention, emotion will be present from gaining access to the inner body, which lies at a deeper level beneath it. Attention does not mean you start thinking about it. It means just observe the emotion, to feel it fully, and so to acknowledge and accept it as it is. Some emotions are easily identifiable: anger, grief, fear, and so on. Others may be much harder to label. They may be vague feelings of unease, heaviness, or constriction, halfway between an emotion and a physical sensation. In any case, what matters is not whether you can attach a mental label to it, but whether you can bring the feeling of it into awareness as much as possible. Attention is the key to transformation. A full attention also implies acceptance. Attention is like a beam of light, the focused power of your consciousness that transmutes everything into itself. This is why I bang on so much about feeling your feelings, emotions, and how important they are. I know in the spiritual, law of attraction world, they say don't focus on what you don't want, and yes, that's true. But most people do need to acknowledge their feelings. Most people, have all these emotions going on, and they're not even aware of them. They're not used to. I say most people, a lot of people. It's getting better and better now, isn't it? Progress is being made. But a lot of people aren't even aware of their emotions, so it's really important to acknowledge them. Then you can kind of allow them to be there, and you can transmute. That's what it's talking about, transmuting it into itself. It can dissipate. They don't have to sit around for long then, you see. But if you ignore it, you try and avoid it, you push it down, then it's going to stick in your body and cause all sorts of problems, feelings-wise and just checking out my hair, feelings-wise and emotionally and physically as well. That's what I was trying to get to. In your body, illnesses and stuff. Stuckness, in your guts, no digestion going on, for example. Anyway, back to it. In a fully functional organism, an emotion has a very short lifespan. It is like a momentary ripple or wave on the surface of your being. I love that. Let's get me back inside my body. I forgot. Talking about feelings and how important they are. Why I bang on about them. When you are not in your body, however, an emotion can survive inside you for days or weeks, or join with other emotions of a similar frequency that have merged and become the pain body. Yeah, it's one of my big things. Don't identify with that pain body because it's not you. It's emotions from the past. I have to read that bit again. Join together with emotions that have a similar frequency and that have merged and become the pain body, a parasite that can live inside you for years, feed on your energy and lead to physical illness and make your life miserable. See chapter 2. Ooh. Should we have a quick look, see what chapter 2 says? Chapter 2 is consciousness, the way out of pain. Create no more pain in the present. Past pain, dissolving the pain body. Ego identification with the pain body. The origin of fear, and the ego's search for wholeness. So that's a whole another chapter. I've skipped forward to moving deeply into the now, and the inner body is part of that, I think. Hold on, 101. No, I haven't. It's even further. I picked a page at random, and it really helped me so much that's why I wanted to share this. 101 is... Oh, it is a whole chapter called the inner body, yeah, of course. Okay. So place your attention on feeling the emotion and check whether your mind is holding onto a grievance pattern such as blame, self-pity or resentment that is feeding the emotion. If that is the case, it means that you haven't forgiven. Non-forgiveness is often towards another person or yourself, but it may just as well be towards any situation or condition, past, present or future, that your mind refuses to accept. Hold on a sec. Yeah, before you enter the body, forgive. I've forgotten that's what it was called. Why are we talking about forgiveness? Right. Yeah, mind refuses to accept past, present, or future stuff. Yes, there can be non-forgiveness even with regard to the future. This is as mind's refusal to accept uncertainty, to accept the future is ultimately beyond its control. Forgiveness is to relinquish your grievance, and so to let go of grief. It happens naturally once you realise that your grievance serves no purpose except to strengthen a false sense of self. Struggling a bit here. Strengthen a false sense of self. Forgiveness is to offer no resistance to life, to allow life to live through you. The alternatives are pain and suffering, a greatly restricted flow of life energy, and in many cases physical diseases. Yeah, Vishen Lakhiani of Mind Valley talks about forgiveness. He really went deeply into that. It's a big one for him. He didn't realise he was holding on to grudges for all sorts of people, and forgiveness really helped, move his life on, sort of thing. Personal growth and stuff. The moment you truly forgive, you have reclaimed your power. A lot of stuff to do with power. That's me. I'm all about power. It's like the real us is love energy, but it's the power that I'm interested in. Love energy is power, but it's love is all there is, but power is part of that. Natural abundance kind of thing. There is nothing else. It's God, we're all one, everything's one. And God is love kind of thing, which is power, which is, it's all energy. Donna Eden, the energy healers, advertising on YouTube at the moment, keep popping up. There is nothing but energy, there is nothing else. She gets so excited when she's saying it. That's right, that's all there is energy. And to me, it's love. That's all there is, that's what's real. Sorry, shouldn't have gone on about this. And back to the book, got to get off my soapbox. The moment you truly forgive, you have reclaimed your power from the mind. I've got really giggly again. Oh dear, slap myself about a bit. Non-forgiveness is the very nature. It annoys me when I'm watching it back and I get giggly because, people watching it want the information, don't they? Or maybe I'm visualising people being really strict and not being very nice. Saying, "Oh, get on with it, girl." Non-forgiveness is the very nature of the mind, just as the mind-made false self, the ego, cannot survive without strife and conflict. That's interesting, isn't it? The ego cannot survive without strife and conflict, which are man-made. You seem to be whistling. Oh God, giggles. The mind cannot forgive. Only you can. Only you emphasize. You become present, you enter your body, you feel the vibrant peace and stillness that emanates from being. That is why Jesus said, before you enter the temple, forgive. There's a squiggle. Solemn moment, that felt. Your link with the unmanifested. I want to get a bit well done. Yeah. I'm dying to get on today. I'm on a horse. Right. Your link with the unmanifested. Right. What is the relation? This is a question. What is the relationship between presence and the inner body? Right. Presence, yeah. Presence. We're still going here. Presence is pure consciousness. Consciousness that has been reclaimed from the mind, from the world of form. The inner body is your link to the unmanifested, and in its deepest aspect is the unmanifested, the source from which consciousness emanates as light emanates from the sun. Wow. Awareness of the inner body is consciousness remembering its origin and returning to source. Wow. Awareness of the inner body is consciousness remembering its origin and returning to the source. Yeah. I agree. Is the questioner, is the unmanifested the same as being? Eckhart. Yes, the word unmanifested attempts by way of negation to express that which cannot be spoken, thought, or imagined. It points to what it is saying. It points to what it is by saying what it is not. Being, on the other hand, is a positive term. Please don't get attached to either of these words or start believing in them. They are no more than signposts. Questioner. You said that presence is consciousness that has been reclaimed from the mind. Who does the reclaiming? You do. Eckhart says you do. God, I'm rushing a bit. Yeah, I don't want to read that little bit there. It's a bit, yeah. Moving on to, I must, questioner, I must admit that this is way beyond my comprehension, and yet on some deeper level, I seem to know that what you're talking about. It's more like a feeling than anything else. Am I deceiving myself? Eckhart says, no, you are not. Feeling will get you closer to the truth of who you are than thinking. I cannot tell you anything that deep within you don't already know. When you have reached a certain stage of interconnectedness, you recognize the truth when you hear it. If you haven't reached that stage yet, the practice of body awareness will bring about the deepening that is necessary. This bit, slowing down the aging process. Woohoo! Slightly important, especially for us ladies. Well, anyone really. I said us ladies because guys often get better looking, don't they, as they get older. Right. Right, slowing down the aging process. Da, da, da. In the meantime, awareness of the inner body has other benefits in the physical realm. One of them is significant slowing down of the aging of the physical body. I'm just getting comfy here. Comfy, cozy. Don't forget to get cozy. Got my bunny. get your favourite cozy thing to make you cozy. And relax. Go into the inner body. Feel how the cells vibrating. Oh, that's so good. Whereas the outer body normally appears to grow old and wither fairly quickly, the inner body does not change with time, except that you may feel it more deeply and become it more fully. If you are 20 years old now, the energy field of your inner body will feel just the same as when you are 80. It will be just as vibrantly alive. As soon as your habitual state changes from being out of the body and trapped in your mind to being in the body and present in the now, your physical body will feel lighter, clearer, more alive. Love that. As there is more consciousness in the body, its molecular structure actually becomes less dense. More consciousness means a lessening of the illusion of materiality. Wow, didn't realise that. When you become identified more with the timeless inner body than with the outer body, when presence becomes your normal mode of consciousness, oh yes please, and past and future no longer dominate your attention, you do not accumulate time anymore in your psyche and in the cells of your body. The accumulation of time as a psychological burden of past and future greatly impairs the cell's capacity, their capacity for self-renewal. If you inhabit the inner body, the outer body will grow old at a much slower rate. Wow. Even when it does, the timeless essence will shine through the outer form, and you will not give the appearance of an old person. Wow. Next question, is there scientific evidence of this? Yeah, Eckhart does look like a child, doesn't he? And also it reminds me of like the beauty within. Like some people can be walking on the road and they're just radiant. It doesn't matter what their face looks like. They can have like a little pig nose and just really weird shaped face and stuff. But sometimes people's inner beauty just shines out and they feel good. They're kind of holding their head up and they feel proud just to be alive. And Spirit showed me that one day. I was in the kitchen and suddenly I felt what it was like to be a spirit arriving in the body, and it was fantastic. It's like you can feel proud just to be here, just to have come onto the earth. It's fantastic because our mind, berates us constantly, or mind does, because of my upbringing and conditioning in general. You can feel proud just because you're alive. Anyway. He's talking about your inner timeless essence will shine through the outer form and give you the appearance not of an old person. Is there any scientific evidence for this? Eckhart says, try it out and you will be the evidence. Right, next title, strengthening the immune system. Oh no, it's 19 minutes. I'll just do a little bit. Another benefit of this practice in the physical realm is a great strengthening of the immune system which occurs when you inhabit the body. The more consciousness you bring into the body, the stronger the immune system becomes. It is as if every cell awakens and rejoices. The body loves your attention. It is also a potent form of self-healing. Most illnesses creep in when you are not present in the body. If the master is not present in the house, all kinds of shady characters will take up residence there. When you inhabit the body, it will be hard for unwanted guests to enter. I have to end it on that because it's 20 minutes. Okay, it's really frustrating only doing small snippets, but yeah, there you go. Maybe there's a way I can do it differently. I'll think of something. I'll download something from you, maybe summarising or something. Yeah, that might be good because then I won't be infringing copyright either. Oops. Okay. Trust and love and peace and inner bodiness. Go out and I was going to say create a life you love. I've got to get rid of that one because that's someone else's. Go out and be yourself, enjoy yourself, and know you're powerful. That inner body, it's all power and love and God and light. Try and have fun. Okay, love you lots. Mwah. Create. Bye.